be. Pardon. I'll sweat.
With Toonie!
Hi everyone, and welcome to another speed build. So if you knew the story that went on when creating this video, not even the build, but the video, I edited it and I did all of the house tours and everything for it last night. Well, early this morning around like 12 midnight. I'm someone who loves to sleep. I'm an early sleeper. So when it came to doing the voiceover, this part for it, I was whispering because everyone else in the house was asleep. And I was also too very tired. But I was like, I want to be like those other YouTubers that can do late night work and still have really good work. Because I've been trying to keep it on a schedule of I upload around half midnight every single night, British Standard Time. So I was trying to keep up with that. But then I listened to a tiny bit of it because there was, I think it was around the 14-minute mark. So I was literally almost over with the narration, but around the 14-minute mark, I was talking so much. And then I really sat back and I was like, wait, hold on, what was I saying? I was talking on autopilot and I was like, okay, this is, I could end up saying a whole bunch of nonsense at this point. So I stopped recording. I listened to it. I have never sounded so sleepy before in my life. And you know I was whispering because as I talk, I have a like sound monitor thing that tells me if I'm peaking too much, and not a single point in the entire voiceover did I peak. So that's how you know that I was tired. But basically the gist of it, what I was talking about yesterday, is that I am finally going through a lot of the backlog that I have when it comes to those builds I've been discussing earlier. So I think I built this on the 26th of September, so literally almost a month ago. But what happened is that originally I was recording a video where it's like spin the wheel, it decides what color you do for certain parts of the house. So it was like red for the exterior, orange for the most of the interior, and then purple for the bedroom and stuff like that. As I was filming it, hour and a half did it, I decided, oh, I'm feeling a little bit tired, because normally when I'm doing builds, I take it breaks between the exterior and the interior, and sometimes downstairs and upstairs. So it's normally in 3 takes. So the exterior or 1 take, downstairs or 1 take, upstairs or 1 take. So that's what I was doing. And when I was finishing, when I was doing the bedrooms, because the bedrooms are just so mentally taxing to me, I've spoken about this before, it's just extremely mentally taxing to do those bedrooms. When I was doing the bedrooms, I was like, actually I'm really tired, so let me do this later. Let me just focus on let me just get a bit of rest so I can make sure that I'm not lazy with the interior design for the rest of the build. So when I did decide to take the break, I was like, okay, let me watch this over, because this is the first time I've ever recorded as I have played. So I went to watch it over. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Why is it 286 megabytes? Truly, if I have done an hour and a half recordings, it should be at least 1.5 gigabytes, because I used the game bar on Windows. So I played it. Not only was the little bit that it did record the most glitchiest glitch of a glitch thing you've ever seen in your life. Like literally every half second, it was just blacking out all the time. But it didn't record anything else. And I think it was just a sign because I didn't really like the house. It wasn't my style of housing. I was building it in Bridgerton Bay for my celebrity build, and I really wanted to keep on the Georgian house theme that I had going on there. But with the way that I said the exterior was red, it wasn't really going to fit that Georgian theme. So that's when I was like, okay, I didn't necessarily like the build. I did actually start to like the interior, and it's made me feel a little bit more confident with experimenting with colors when it comes to the interior, because the interior was very orange and originally I didn't like it, but then the dark browns and the orange, it was given twitches, and I really liked that. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna maybe start experimenting a bit more with color, because that was really fun. And with the way that it ended up coming out, like I was thinking I could actually imagine myself with Sims being here. Like I can imagine myself playing with Sims here. So it was interesting. I wasn't too heartbroken that an hour and a half of recording just kind of went into the ether. But it was okay. It was truly okay. But it made me think, instead of going to build the next build that I want to build, which was it was either another restaurant but for my celebrity build, so it would have been Georgian inspired, or it was an apartment building for my celebrity build, again Georgian inspired, with this New Orleans style build. Or last night I was thinking about it, I also want to kind of do a cabin. I just want to do something a little bit more autumny to really celebrate the autumn weather and everything like that, because I want to do a vlog or something. So I need a bit more builds to do a vlog, because I don't want to do vlogs of the exact same builds, because you've already see like mini vlogs of every single build that I create anyway. So I want new buildings all the time to really keep up some kind of excitement when it comes to these vlogs. So I was like, okay, I want to do all these things, but I think it was just a sign to be like, come on, you need to get rid of all these other builds. And this build, as you can see, is extremely modern. And if I was to create this now, I probably would have deleted it multiple times, because it's the type of build that is not currently my favorite type of building style. I don't hate this building style, but it's not the current building style that I like. The current building style that I like is very again Georgian inspired. I'm kind of stepping back slightly from those modern-esque builds. It's not that you're never going to see a modern build. If I want to do, you'll probably see a modern build maybe in 2 weeks. I'm very indecisive like that. But doing quite huge modern builds, especially flat roofings in this instant, because you're going to see in my Georgian builds that even though the roofing is still quite flat, but it's a roof rather than just putting a platform on top. So that's what's really going on with this build at the moment. I was speaking about this in my other voiceover. I really wish I kept that sign on the wall with the faces. I honestly prefer it than the Moschino one that I ended up putting on, but I was in the mindset of I wanted the colors of this area to be like purple and pink and stuff like that. So I wanted to feel that vibe as I was building, but instead of just, waiting until I was in live mode and just changing the colors, or downloading a mod which allows me to change the colors as I'm building, and I was like, let me just change it. And I do regret it, because I feel like this fit the vibe of the build a whole lot more, even when it's like white lighting, fit the vibe of the build a lot more than the one I ended up putting in. And at least this one doesn't glitch the way the other one does, because the other one glitches quite a bit. But yeah, I think I really enjoy this this runway that's like down. Because this is second version of this type of build. I did do a fashion studio beforehand, and it was built in the style of like San Mancino, so it's very like factory warehousey, very brick, very San Mancino, very New York kind of Chicago kind of style. Like it fit that world a lot more than this one in Del Sol Valley. But with that build, it was one not too big. The energy to go and do the interior design for that, I was like, I can't. I don't want to. And two, the thing is, when you do really big builds, you also need to remember your Sims are very slow sometimes. So it would have been a big annoyance to try and get your Sims to one place and the other. It was like 3 stories. It was 40 by 40. It was a huge build. I really loved what inspiration I had for it. And it was so much more fashion studio-esque than this one. Like, you can actually imagine a supermodel pulling up there, especially when it came to the fashion show area. The fashion show area was upstairs on that build, and there was 2 runways, and it was kind of like a circle runway. So you go from one wall, go into the runway, which was elevated, go into the other wall, turn all the way around, and then go into the other one and all the way. It was honestly, it was so fun. And in another world, I would continue it, but I also don't know where I've put that. I think I saved that into the cloud somewhere. So do you know how when you upload stuff on the gallery, you can also just like save stuff on the gallery as well? So I think I did save it there, but it's gonna be many months before I ever go back to it. It's the same way of, I really want to make a high school, but since I've technically made 4 high schools, 1 high school before we even had a high school pack, but I've made 4 high schools, and my last high school was only a month ago. I do want to create another high school, but it's going to be a very long time until I do that, because there's so many different styles of high schools I want to do. There's the Australian ones, there's the Japanese ones, there's those traditional Twilight-esque American ones. So there is so many different styles of high schools I want to. And you would think, oh wait, don't you want to do a British high school? No, I don't, because I went to one for so many years. Why would I want to make another one? No. I don't want to experience that again. But knowing me, you're probably going to see it at one point, because I am steadily building up my British build, which originally was a royalty build, but I realized I don't like making palaces all that much, so I just ended up making 3 palaces. So there's technically 2 royal families, 1 for Windenburg and 1 for Oasis Springs, and then everything else is just inspired by British architecture. But yeah, that's how my mindset is when it comes to coming back to builds or remaking lot types or restaurants. However, I can make endless amount of restaurants. I really do enjoy making restaurants. And the one thing I also enjoy, I love making community lots. Like, I really enjoyed making this lot, because if you saw it at the start, it was just so much fun. It was so much fun to play with, because as much as I do love building, and I do love casts, and I do love editing, and I do love doing all of these other things, I also really just do love playing the game. And when I can create a build that I enjoy playing inside of, yeah, I'm golden. And I really enjoy playing with this, because I could live out that celebrity feeling that I felt like Let's Get Famous should have put out a tiny bit more, like it does in a certain extent. Like, we've got the award shows, and we've also got the active careers. Oh gosh, you don't understand how much I love active careers. I love things where I can do, especially with this laptop. Though it's not a gaming laptop, it runs way better than my computer, so it does allow me to go to different lots a little bit faster. I think it takes like 1 to 2 minutes to load onto a different lot. Sometimes it likes to be a little bit nice and load within 30 seconds. So it makes it a little bit more fun playing the game when you can just move from lot to lot. When you can't move from lot to lot very quickly or efficiently, it can be a very tiresome game, and that's what ends up putting you through the loop of just constantly creating builds and making sims, because you end up making this ultimate house, because you can't really leave your lot because it would take so long to load into the next slot. But yeah, that's what I ended up doing. And at this point, this is when I stopped the recording, because one, I went off on a tangent about ethicality. Like, you can tell I was truly tired in the other one, but this one I've got, well, to say, as she says, she slowly starts to forget what she was supposed to say. But these pictures on the gallery was so helpful, When you do go, if you download this build, you will be able to, which is available on the gallery, you will be able to click on the photos and see exactly which creator did what. But these pictures really helped when it came to the vibe of the fashion studio. The fashion studio is called Focus, which is like a mixture of Fendi and this other one, like I don't know, but it was this kind of thing where I thought, because the sign kind of looks like Fendi to me, so I was like, okay, I'll make it like inspired by Fendi potentially. But what you can see me creating now, this is like the boardroom. So there's going to be magazines in the middle. There's going to be like a Starbucks-esque cup made by LittleDica's pack. And it's going to just really look like this is where they decide, okay, this is what we're going to be shooting. And you've also saw like this area now. This is one of the reasons why I decided to do this build. So, Uzzy and Mariam, I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right. They created this sewing mod, and they've also created like this ironing mod. And basically with this mod, it allows you to create clothes. And I was like, okay, this is amazing. I have to create a whole entire lot that has the premise of textiles and something to do with that kind of realm. So that's how I ended up doing this. And then once I was at it, I was like, you know what? A stuff pack that I've always wanted, but I've never been able to justify myself with getting is the Moschino pack. But I was like, okay, I need to get it now. I want it now, so I'm going to get it now. So that's what I also ended up getting to go alongside this mod pack. And it was amazing. It's the epitome of dollhouse, because you just have so much fun with it, especially with these makeup hair chairs and this dressing podium that we get from Get Famous. It's so much fun because you don't know what your sim is going to produce, and I think that's gonna that and the mannequins from Get to Work. I think it's fun when you let the game randomize certain aspects of itself, and this was a very fun thing to randomize, like the makeup, the hair that he ended up coming with. I could never have thought of that, but it ended up just fitting so well, and I liked it so much. The sims that I used for this, they actually got a really nice house, and I was about to call it Isla Paradiso. No, that's Sims 3. I always forget the name of the island world in The Sims 4, but they've got a really nice oceanfront house there. The actually husband and wife, but all my other sims kept glitching on the side of the build, so it wouldn't allow me to have anyone else do anything else. So yeah, because that is an issue that I will be discussing with that is an issue that occurs with this build, that sometimes they'll just glitch where this elevator is on the second floor just outside the window. Sometimes they'll just appear there, so that's when you have to sometimes just go Control-Shift-C, reset sim, A, B, C, D, and E, just to help with that. But anyway, just before I finish, because I talked so much over this, I'm just going to say a quick list. It's going to also be in the description if you want to know exactly what CC was used in this, but I think I used 10 pieces of CC, so I will read them out in order of how I remembered what I used. I used the Office Mini Kit, I used the Groovy Baby Landline, I used MCM, Hercules Head, Mirror, Sink, and the Wigs. I also used the Hotel by SixaMcc or SixaMcc. I used her hotel thing for the entrance of each of the rooms. I used the Boho Living pack, obviously, the Felixandre Shop the Look, Stools, Sewing by OzzyandMariam, Favorite Apartment Chairs and Laptops, and the Rise and Grind LittleDica for the cups and for the doors. But yeah, that's all going to be in the description for you guys. I hope you guys really enjoyed this build. I hope you guys like, subscribe, and comment anything else you want to see from me on this channel. And thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.